Hi, welcome to today's video. We're going to look at the open minor chords. It's a follow-up to the open major chords in the last video. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm in standard tuning. Alright, so the first chord we're going to do is A minor. And this starts off with an open A string. Then we have a middle finger on the second fret of the D string. Then we have the ring finger on the G string, second fret. On the B string, we have our index finger on the first fret. Then we have an open high E string. And you strum 5 strings. So from that open A, you strum down from there. So you ignore the low E string. And that is your A minor chord. An alternative fingering for this is we'll see it in the B minor, but I'll switch it up and then shift it so you can see. So you have your open A string, then you have your ring finger on the D string second fret. Then directly underneath that you have your pinky second fret G string. Then you have your middle finger instead of your index finger for the first fret B string. Then you have the open high E. That's your A minor. So we're going to go to the B minor next, and if you take that shape and you move it up 1, 2 frets, and then you bar all the frets on the second fret of the A, D, G, B, E string, and you'll have your B minor. So let's go over this. So ignore the low E. We hit the second fret of the A string with your index finger bar. Then on the 4th fret of the D string, you put your ring finger on the 4th fret. On the G string, you have your pinky on the 4th fret of the G string. Then your middle finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then the high E string, because of the bar right here, you will be fretting the 2nd fret of the high E string. Then you have your B minor. And to shift from that, basically, you can imagine if you're holding this chord. So if you're going to B minor to A minor, you just shift it. So 1, 2. So imagine if there's a fret here and you have your A minor. So if there's any change where you need to go A minor or B minor or vice versa, this is a very handy shape to use. Okay, so you're just sliding the fingers as opposed to doing it like this. See, there's a lot more movement, a lot easier to get the wrong fingering for this. But practice and you will get better. Okay, the next is C minor. This is not a common shape. It's, if you cannot stretch this far, don't worry about it. You can play the rest of the chord itself. Whoops. So C minor. So we're going to play all the strings except the low E and the high E. So ignore those. So first we put our pinky on the 3rd fret of the A string, like so. Next we have our index finger on the 1st fret of the D string. So if your pinky, if you're stretching, if you're finding that uncomfortable, try and raise the neck so you can lift the pinky. So you have to arch it. You cannot flatten it, or else you'll mute the note on your index finger. Next is an open G string. Next is your middle finger on the first fret of the B string. And once again, we ignore the high E. So this is not a common chord, because if I play the high E string, it's not part of it, because in C minor we have an E flat. So that is our C minor open chord shape. Next is D minor. So if you remember your D major shape, it's basically 1 fret difference to that. So we'll start off with open D string. Then you put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Then you have your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your B string. And then you have your index finger on the 1st fret of the high E string. And then you strum from the open D downward. So you ignore the low E and A string. And that is your D minor chord. Next is E minor. This is one of the easiest chords to learn. So we're going to strum all 6 strings, and we're going to fret the 2 frets here. So on the A string, put your index finger on the 2nd fret. Then on the 2nd fret of the D string, put your middle finger, like so. So you're just fretting 2 frets, okay? And you play all 6 strings. Nice and easy. Alternatively, you can use your middle and ring finger. And also, it's not common, but you can use your ring and pinky. But I've seen index, middle, middle ring, very popular, very common. Okay, next we have F minor. F minor is a bar chord, a 6-string bar chord. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your index finger and bar all of the 1st fret of all 6 strings. Next, oh yeah, because we're not going to be using the middle finger, you can use the middle finger to support the index. So you're pressing down with 2 fingers on the 1st fret like so. Then the next string, the A string, we're going to put our ring finger on the 3rd fret. Right below that, we have the pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. So I'll play that, hang on. So the 1st fret of the low E string will be barred. There's your F note. Then ring finger of the A string, you'll have the 3rd fret. Then on the D string, you have your pinky on the 3rd fret. And then the next is the 1st fret of the G string, which will be barred by your index finger. Whoops. So if you don't get it, just try to press harder. Also, a tip for barring, try not to have your finger away from the fret. So if I'm fretting the 1st fret, have it as close as possible. Okay? So we have the G string. G string 1st fret, B string 1st fret, and E string 1st fret. And then we have our F minor. Okay, next is G minor, and I just want to show you an easy way to get there, because the position that I'm going to show you is not common. But if you learn your F minor chord, if you shift it up 2, 1, 2, just like A minor and B minor, you'll have your G minor, okay? So you have your bar on the 3rd fret. So you're barring the 3rd fret of the low E string. Then you're gonna put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Then you're gonna put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the D string. Then because of the bar, you're gonna be hitting the 3rd fret of the G string. B string, and the E string. Strum all 6 strings. And that is the easier G minor. Alternatively, I forgot to show you, for the F minor, if you find the 6 string bar too difficult, you can just bar the G, B, and E strings like so, and strum only the 5 strings, so from the A string downwards. Okay, so I'm going to show you the open G minor chord. Once again, it is not common. It's this shape here. So what we have is the 3rd fret of the E string fretted, first fret of the A string fretted with your index finger, ring finger. Let me start over. So for the open G minor chord, you put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. You put your index finger on the 1st fret of your A string. Then you have an open D string. Then you're going to use your pinky to bar the 3rd fret of the G, B, and E strings. There you have open G minor chord. So that is quite tough, especially on acoustic guitar. So you can learn the top half of that chord. So ignore the ring finger, and you can maybe use 2 fingers to bar the 3rd fret of the G, B, and E string. But whatever works for you, if you find the bar chord a lot more comfortable, go with that. So just go over the chords again. We have A minor, then we have B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, and G minor. G minor. Alright, I hope this lesson was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.